local government, with construction numbers also up. Labor force participation is at 61.7%. Still, 8.7 million people remain unemployed.
I predict we're going to continue to see more people enter the workforce because that's the biggest problem right now.
Economists are concerned the rise in the Delta variant could slow what has been months of promising growth.
This is something that we haven't experienced in this country in 100 years. This is not a normal recession. This is not something that's predictable.
The report also shows inflation is rising faster than hourly wages.
It's a silent tax. You make a 5% increase on your wage, but you're losing, a percent because inflation's going up at 6%.
Republicans say massive spending bills in Congress will cut into recent gains, as the administration says the money is necessary to continue growth.
If we've got an economy that's in really a full-scale recovery right now, why in the world is the federal government talking about spending $4 trillion? It's the dumbest thing.
The unemployment rate is 2% higher, with 2 million more people unemployed than before the pandemic, showing there is still more recovery to go. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Seen since October of 2014. Company officials say those prices will probably peak in the next week or two. Prices have gone up more than 90 cents a gallon just in the last year. Analysts say prices should start to taper off as demand drops, with those summer vacations quickly coming to an end. Hundreds of passengers across the country have been stranded.
This after Spirit Airlines delayed or canceled hundreds of flights this week.
Fox's J.Lo Whitfield has more from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport.
Over the past 5 days, Spirit Airlines has canceled over 1,700 flights across the country. The chaos started on Sunday when they had to cancel 177 flights. Atlanta passengers here tell me they are frustrated and they just want to get to their destination. Spirit Airlines spokesperson Eric Homer released a statement earlier this week. He says the delays in canceled flights are due to multiple problems, including staffing shortages.
Taking place right now and over the past couple of years. We've had the Black Lives Matter police accountability movement, plus we've had the pandemic and the end of social distancing coming together. Those are two things we've never dealt with before, much less at the same time.
Topali, who studies crime trends, anticipates crime could drop in the fall, but the Buckhead City Committee has no plans to wait. The group cites neighboring Sandy Springs and Brookhaven as examples of controlling their own tax dollars. Both also control their own police departments, yet none are immune to crime. To compare, we looked at crime rates per 100,000 people. Violent crimes increased in Sandy Springs after cityhood in 2007. Brookhaven faced a similar situation after 2013. In breaking down the number of murders, rapes, robberies, and assaults, we noticed crime trends in newly formed cities often mirror Atlanta, while experts question cityhood as a strategy for curbing crime.
So many things account for why you have crime at any given time, in particular types of crime. Even if you created a new city and you saw that crime was going down, I bet you would also see that crime was going down in other areas not very far from that particular.
Have happened a lot in northwest Atlanta at night. A driver in a vehicle cased the lot off Howell Mill, stopped where the officer's personal car was parked, and popped the lock.
We see criminals break into these vehicles and they are immediately armed once they obtain that weapon. That's not something we want to see.
Did the APD officer secure the weapons in a lockbox?
Months after full immunization, Pfizer made a similar announcement last week, reporting its vaccine is now 91% effective in that same time period. The drug maker says scientists are working on a booster shot for the Delta variant, and they can expect data in the next few months.
When we see the totality of the data, we will pick the best booster in Germany, in France, in the UK, in Israel. They say that they're going to start boosting the elderly.
And Moderna says a third COVID-19 shot will likely be needed before winter. In New York, Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
Through contacts that he had might emerge, when it looked like that wasn't a real thing, that relationship ended. I made a mistake.
All right, now to the other stories making headlines today.
Urges Beijing and Hong Kong authorities to cease their continued attacks on Hong Kong.
This is not just about the United States standing up for people in Hong Kong. We join our allies and partners, including the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, in offering options to those who fear returning to Hong Kong. Our announcement today is in response to the PRC and Hong Kong authorities' repeated actions to undermine rights and freedoms guaranteed by the Basic Law and the Sino Joint Declaration, which is a binding international agreement.